Welcome back to Heroes Next Door. Thank you all for joining us today. We are back in New York, just outside of Buffalo, about a half hour from Buffalo. We're at the Townline Fire Department. We're going to do a station cribs today. But before we do, I want to say thank you to our sponsors, Mint Mobile, Aura Digital Securities, and DECT. How you doing?
How's it going?
Good. I'm Mike from Heroes Next Door, and you are?
I'm Stephan Kasprzyk. I'm the Deputy Chief with Townline.
You're the one that was emailing me back and forth. Finally nice to see you in person.
Good to see you too.
All
Glad
right.
you could make the trip up.
Yeah, it was great. Got a lot of snow recently.
Yeah, a little bit of a storm, a little lake effect for us. It was nice, a little change.
Over on the East Coast, we haven't had anything yet, so I appreciate the snow. So,
well, glad we could
you
accommodate
have
you.
an awesome little house here. Can you show us around and show us what you have?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So we'll hit the administrative offices first.
Okay.
On that side and the training side, and then we'll move on from there.
Awesome. I'll follow you.
The department's been here since 1921. We've actually started a couple doors down, and then as it progressed, the building next door we were in there, that was our fire hall. Our guys built that. They actually had to do it with either donate 20 hours of time to build it or pay $10 at the time.
Okay.
So they actually built it out and everything, so it still exists. We moved over here, and then it was an addition in the 60s that we put on. So we put a training room on and the administrative offices so that we could do that.
Yeah, when I pulled into the parking lot, I kind of get a little driver on. I went down the other side, and then I kind of had to come back out to the other side.
Yeah, the other side's where all our guys come in and respond to.
Right. All right, so if I were the public, did I come in the front door, first of all?
Sort of.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, our front door is actually on the back of the building because the parking lot's set up on that side. The other side's where all of our guys park for calls and everything like that.
Okay. All right, what rooms do we have here?
Yes, so we have our conference room. As we meet in here obviously for our board meetings and everything like that, but we also have it so that if we ever did have any incidents or anything, we can utilize it as well.
Okay, like an incident command station area?
For the storms, there's an example of it.
Okay.
Luckily this last one wasn't too bad for us. I mean, we got about 4 foot, but in all reality, it wasn't too bad. The town did a good job at keeping everything cleared.
Okay.
So we didn't have to do anything there. And then we have, as we kind of move out of here, we move into the administrative offices.
Okay. I see you got some blueprints here. Are you in the process of doing something new?
Yeah, so we're actually adding on to this station. It was already supposed to start, but everything's been pushed back. In the spring, we'll actually be starting with the groundbreaking. Okay. So we're adding 2 bays on. We're going 40 feet out on the the east side of the parking lot. And then it's 100 foot deep. So we're moving all our gear over into one room, adding a couple machines in there to help with some of the carcinogens and things like that.
So you're trying to get caught up, even though this is an older building, you're trying to get caught up with those new NFPA regulations.
Yeah, so we have an older extractor, so we're going to buy two new extractors, handle a little bit more gear, get a second drying rack so that we can kind of process it. Our members are required after any fires or trainings that they have to wash their gear, and then twice a year they're actually required to wash their gear even if they didn't go in a structure, just to kind of keep it clean and everything like that.
When's groundbreaking for you?
It's going to be early spring.
Okay.
Everything's ordered. In fact, we're expecting the steel to start showing up and they're going to park it out back. We just had to wait because of
all the delays.
Even the nuts and bolts.
Yeah.
So.
All right, I'll follow you. Sure. Continue on.
So as we go down here, we have the administrative offices, the president, the chief's offices. We do pretty much all your paperwork.
Now you are 100% volunteer here, is that correct?
We are, yep. We are still 100% volunteer. We hope it never changes. We do take pride in serving the community, and we kind of like that aspect of it. We actually do cover 2 townships.
Okay.
So we have the town of Lancaster, which we're in right now, and then just to the east is the town of Alden. And we actually do cover them. We contract with both townships.
Okay. So how big is your territory that you actually cover? Do you know by square mileage, give or take?
It's somewhere around 50, I believe.
Okay, that's a decent size.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's a little bit more rural. The Lancaster side is definitely increasing in houses and residents.
Okay.
And Alden's even starting to grow as well, but not nearly as quick.
So because you have 2 different townships, do you have a substation also, or is
We
this
do.
a station?
Nope, we have a substation as well. We have several rigs here, but we also stage an aerial and a engine at the other end.
Okay.
As well. And that building is over on Cemetery Road, so it's closer to the edge of that side of the district.
Okay. All right. Yeah, this is a nice place you got here. This is an addition to what the original building was?
Yeah, so this was done in the 60s.
Okay.
So when we get over to the truck bay, that was all original, and that was actually built in addition to when we still had the administrative buildings next door.
Okay.
So that was the add-on that they did there, and then in the 60s they added on this addition as well.
It's good to have a place for your administration to, sit down, do their work. These are kind of the guys behind the scenes that get the bills paid, make sure the lights stay on, those kind of things, and order the trucks.
Yeah, so we have several members that have been here for years. We have a couple members that sit on our board and take care of our treasurer and everything. They've been 50 plus years with the department, so they really know how this place works. They help keep it on track. They also set us up for future growth. We're lucky enough that we don't fundraise from the community with the contracts that we have, but we're also not taking out loans for fire trucks. So, or additions for the building.
Yeah.
So it goes a long way for us, and we like to make sure that we give back as much as we can, because we know the community is the one that's paying for us to be here.
Right. Is there anything else on this side of the building that we get to?
Not here. We'll go around and check out the training room.
Okay, we'll continue to talk as we go around. So with your administration, are they career firefighters at other departments and just volunteer here, or are they kind of the jack of all trade kind of board and membership?
No, our board members are actually our firefighters.
Okay.
So we have 5 positions on the board, and so they help to oversee everything that the president does and the chief does, is that check and balance. And then budgets, everything go through them. So this is actually our training room.
Wow,
we upgraded this a couple years ago.
Yeah.
We really wanted to make this a little bit more so that we could actually have the county come in and host courses here.
Okay.
And the state courses. So we've actually hosted classes here and everything.
What kind of classes are you talking about?
Well, we've done aerial ops here. We've done engine ops, 1403 refreshers for live burns. Anything our guys are really looking at, we try to bring it here so our guys don't have to go out anywhere to do it.
Then do you offer those classes to other surrounding departments?
Yeah, so they're open up. We go through the county for it, and whether it's a county instructed class or a state instructed class, they will coordinate everything, and then it's opened out to everybody. So we say, hey, we want to put 10 guys in the course, and they'll accommodate us for that. We kind of get first dibs.
So what's the capacity here? It looks about 30, 40 people?
Yeah, about 40 people with tables, and then we sometimes have to have a little bit larger groups. We've had a couple of occasions where we have like a 3-hour course. 1403 was a good example. There were a lot of people that came for that, so on a short notice, we can stack up the extra chairs.
Right. I'm noticing the wall of apparatus. Are these all your previous apparatus, I assume?
Yep, they're all our apparatus. We were actually lucky enough to go back and find pictures back from the very beginning.
Okay.
As you move down the row, you're actually going backwards.
Oh, it's going back in time here. Okay.
So we go back to our first apparatus down at the end, and then all the way to our most current ones that we have.
Wow. This is awesome to have. I love seeing how the apparatus has changed over the years and what you've chose to use. You went from a pumper, and it looks like now you got ladders or quints, and you went from the old Dodge truck
Yep.
to, you know, a big size rescue.
It's interesting how things kind of rotate and change as the community changes and our needs change as well. We've had everything from used to new. You know, we have a Seagrave that was out of New York City. You know, it was what we could afford at the time.
Yeah.
And they wanted to have a ladder. As we've progressed, we've been lucky enough to really customize the rigs that we have in.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool to see. And for you viewers, we're going to actually take a look at their apparatus bay in a little bit. We're going to finish up the tour of your building, and then we'll go talk about some of your trucks for just a little bit. Before we do that, do us a favor. Hit subscribe, hit like, and hit those notifications so we can keep bringing you more. All right, Chief, I'll follow you. Where we're going?
So we're going to head back over towards our banquet hall.
Okay.
And then the club room.
There's a banquet hall here, too. I didn't even realize that when I drove around.
Yeah, so when we were a little bit, you know, years ago when we were a little bit smaller of a department, we used to have all our banquets here, events and everything like that. So this is our banquet hall.
Okay.
It's actually on our list of improvements.
But this brings me back to most of the firehouses that I'm used to. You know, they were built in the 60s and 70s. You had the wood panels, stuff like that. But I've spent Christmases here. You know, I've spent time in these kind of banquet halls.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, with my family. As being volunteer firefighters or even a paid firefighter, you know, a lot of time is spent at the firehouse.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of time is spent here. You know, having the parties and, you know, enjoying each other's company.
Yeah. So we use it mostly for our members now. We no longer rent it out, but our members can take advantage of it. So they have baby showers and birthdays and, you know, get-togethers, things like that. And then we host things in here for ourselves. So we will still do dinners for our members. You know, our annual meeting, we have dinner in here. We set it up and, you know, point everybody towards each other and you know, sit around and talk. But it's one of those areas this is our next project after the addition.
Okay, fair enough.
But we have a lot of, I mean,
it's a lot of
our
a lot
older
of
members.
usable space that, you know, just needs a little updating.
Yeah,
Not a big deal.
It's not the end of the world.
Yeah. All right.
And then this way.
I'm assuming it has the full industrial kitchen like all the other banquet
Yeah,
halls that we've
so we'll come through here and we'll hit up the kitchen first, then we'll hit the club room.
These are some of your older members?
These are some of our older members.
Okay. Are any of these guys still active?
None of these gentlemen are.
Okay.
We got some of the older apparatus. So this is actually from our 70-year anniversary.
Okay.
We still have, there are a few people in here that are, well, I think only two actually in here that are still active members nowadays.
Where are you at now? That looks like what, 75 anniversary there?
Yep, so that's 75. So we're actually technically at our 101st year.
Okay.
With COVID, we had to delay the banquet. And so we actually did we did it as 101st celebration this year.
Well, I'm glad you just didn't skip it. A lot of firehouses around the country ended up just skipping it. They're like, okay, it is what it is and move forward. But you're like, you know what? Let's just do it anyway.
Yeah, we actually missed 2 years of banquets because of everything that was going on. Everything shut down a week before our banquet was supposed to happen with COVID. So we actually wanted to take the opportunity. You know, it's a big deal, 100 years. Most of us are never going to see it unless we happen to jump over to another fire department and move, and you'll get lucky and run into that period. So we wanted our members to have fun. We got all of our old members back in that were around. We invited all of them back and had a big celebration. And
that's awesome.
We took ourselves out of service for 48 hours and had all our mutual aid companies cover us, which was great to have that support too.
So as a public that not aware about that, is there a place that maybe I can see some pictures? Do you have a Facebook page? Do you do Instagram? Do you do anything like that?
Yeah, so we have our Facebook page, and then we also have our website, tlfd.org.
Okay.
And then we just started a TikTok page. So
awesome.
That just started, so we have about 7 videos up right now, but they're having fun with those, trying to come up with good and a little bit more of the humorous side of things.
Right.
You know, we get some good videos, but you know, have some fun. You know, we all joke around at the fire hall and have a good time. Right. So we wanted to kind of.
So you viewers out there, go ahead and check out their social media platforms. You know, the TikTok, the Facebook, the Instagram, whatever they got. You know, support them as best you can and take a look, see what it's all about. And here's the kitchen?
Yeah, so this is actually just a little kitchenette off the club room.
Okay.
Snacks, drinks, things like that.
Yep.
And then in here we actually have our kitchen. So we actually have a pass through, so the banquet hall actually passes right through there. And then here we redid this a couple years ago. Put all new tiles, nice big island, chairs. You know,
the island here,
our members come down; they can cook here if they want to. We do a squad night, is what we call it, the third Friday of every month.
Okay.
So that way they can get together, and it's nothing more than cook dinner, sit around, have some fun, talk, and if we get a call, we get a call. If we don't, we don't.
That's what the firehouse is all about. On top of the kitchen here, you have a ton of different amenities. Do you have people that actually stay here or live here?
Yes, so we actually do have a bunk room, and we do an out-of-district program.
Okay.
So the out-of-district program actually allows people that may live in areas that don't have fire departments, or past members that want to stay members that move out of the area. They can actually come and stay here and do a night. So they're required to do 8 hours every week, 40 hours a month. And they punch in, punch out, and they stay for it. They're not required for the call requirements or anything like that because they're putting the time in.
They're putting the time in. That's a good way to do that. All too often, we get tied to a firehouse that maybe I grew up in, and then I become an adult, I get married, I kind of move away a little bit, and then I lose touch with my guys that I grew up with. That's a good way to kind of go back to that and just say, I'm going to take every other Friday or whatever and do an overnight.
Exactly, and we get a lot of guys that join younger, so they're still living with their parents when they join. They move out. We actually do have a restricted group as well, which is 16, 17-year-olds.
Okay.
They
kind of like a junior member?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
They're allowed to respond to calls. In fact, we just had a junior member complete BFO and IFO.
Okay.
So she's actually interior qualified according to the state.
For our viewers, can you explain what BFO and
Sure.
IFO are?
BFO is basic exterior fire operations, and then IFO is interior fire operations.
Okay.
So those are the certifications. We require everybody to get BFO.
Okay.
And then IFO, we try to get everybody into IFO, and that's the actual interior work.
Okay, so it's almost like the national or board certified firefighter 1.
Correct. It's the state requirements, and then once you take that, you're actually almost completely qualified to take the national. There's, I think, one minor thing that they have to do
Maybe
for
like
it.
a hazmat or something like that.
They actually include hazmat
Oh, okay.
now. Yeah, they actually have a whole hazmat section they have to participate in for awareness.
Or ropes. I remember doing the ropes.
Yeah, and it's fun when you get a new member that's going through it. You give it to somebody and say, "Do you remember how to do this?" Do you
All right, from here, there's a club room off of here, is that correct?
Yep, so we have our club room, or day room, or where our members can hang out when we don't have calls.
Wow, this is nice. Nice table.
Yeah.
We see a lot of tables as we travel across the country for firehouses. So having a good big table like this, it's awesome to see.
It was a big thing we wanted to do. We had tables in here before, but they were just regular tables. They weren't anything special. We'd grab chairs out of the banquet hall. We wanted a nice big place everybody could sit. We did our squad night dinner the other night, and we had 17 people here. This accommodates that,
Definitely
plus a few more.
Right,
so
right.
it lets us all sit down and eat together, have some conversations, and then, they also have the nice chairs.
Yeah.
So we bought all this stuff
Looks like
together.
You got embroidered your name on them and
Yep,
everything.
got the patch right in them, which is great. The chairs have them as well.
Right.
We have Station 1, our Station 2 also has a Station 2 table. They just have a smaller one. They just don't have the same space here.
Right.
And then we have our 3 patches that we actually had over the years.
Did you end up ordering these, or did one of your members kind of make them?
No, we ordered them.
Okay. Yeah, they're nice tables. It's something that, get your patch on there, get recognized.
Yeah.
It's good to see.
And Dream Seat did a great job. They were easy to work with, the company we used on it. Working through getting all the patches, into the tables, all of that.
Right.
So we had a lot of debates. Guys wanted legs that were fire hydrants and everything, and it was, I think these work out great. They're not as heavy.
Yeah, yeah. I noticed you got a foosball table and
Pool table, dartboard, yep.
So, if I wanted to volunteer here, and it looks like this is a great place to hang out, how do I go about volunteering for you? And do I need education before I get here?
Well, you don't need any education. We'll actually provide it. So all the courses are free for anybody that wants to come and take it. We'll put you through the courses, EMT, firefighter 1, Fire, what was
Yeah,
Firefighter
yeah.
1, BFO and IFO.
Yep, yep.
We'll put you through that. You want to learn to drive the apparatus, we'll put you through all the courses for that. You'll do your drive time, get acquired to the engines, and move up as you go from there.
Okay.
And then we have our application on our website, and you can always stop down and see us. We drill every Monday we're here.
Okay.
And then, if you see cars in the parking lot, you're more than welcome to stop in, talk to us.
Yeah,
say
so
hi.
if you viewers are out there, you're in the area surrounding Buffalo and in Townline, and what was the other one?
Alden.
And you're interested in becoming a volunteer or learning more about it, definitely stop by and talk to them. Okay, what else do we have around here?
So, obviously, the most important thing for our guys at night,
Yeah.
They got their chairs, their comfortable chairs, their TVs, things like that. As we kind of head out down this hallway, you hit the truck bay.
Okay.
With our apparatus.
When I was driving around trying to find a parking spot, I noticed you have a training center out back, or are those
Yep.
storage units?
Nope. So we do actually have our own training facility.
Okay.
So we have shipping containers, Connex boxes that we've had built over the years.
Can we go take
Yeah,
a
we
quick
can. Yeah, absolutely.
look? Okay. So I noticed you got a ton of property here. It looks like it goes a ways back.
Yeah, so we're not quite halfway back on our property. So we
Okay.
actually have quite a bit of wooded areas back there. We have lots of ambitions to grow our training facility. And so we do have some ideas. We want to clear some of the trees out, kind of open it up so we can do some, rescues with the UTVs and everything like that.
Right.
And kind of grow this area.
It's good to have that at Woodland Ops too.
Yeah.
We always got to do some searches. You'll have a hydrant on your location too.
Yeah, so we actually put these in ourselves.
Okay.
They're not actually tied into the county water. We have a hydrant out at the road we're allowed to use from the county, and then we tie it in, and then we can actually charge all these. So we actually have 3 hydrants that we can hit with an engine when we have them charged.
Okay.
The other thing we've done is we've actually integrated it into our standpipe system in the burn facility. So the nice thing about that is one, we have safety lines that come off of it. We get great water pressure, so it actually does a great job. So the safety lines are fully charged all the time. We can still feed it we have 2 FD connections, one on each side of the building, so we can actually work on that. And then we actually do have a couple of sprinklers in one of the rooms, so we can show our guys what actually happens when the sprinkler goes off.
Right.
And the ability to turn it on and off.
Yeah, I remember doing that in Firefighter 1 where you had to, put your stops and stop that sprinkler and that kind of stuff. Do you mind if we kind of take a look at
Yeah,
that?
absolutely.
Nice garage too.
Yeah, so we're actually, with the new addition, we're actually going to be transitioning this more into just training. Yeah, a little snow remnants. We have the tractor to assist with cleanups, things like that, snow removal.
Yeah.
We use this for about 14 hours during the storm just to clear out the parking lots and everything.
Right.
But we also have forcible entry doors.
Okay.
We actually have a block prop, and what we actually use this for, we can actually put cinder blocks in here.
Okay.
And then you can actually force it because we can put pressure on it. What we've done is we actually put it in for a wall breach.
Nice.
So we have drywall.
We've seen a ton of these.
Yeah.
This is standard training, that kind of stuff. But this almost looks like a brake press.
Yep.
That's something you've modified to take care of a different aspect of training.
Exactly. And the initial idea was with blocks, right? How often do you get to actually train on busting out a block wall?
Yeah.
We don't do it very often. It's not something that's but we do have some manufacturing and warehouse facilities around us that you're only going to get a man door or garage door, and then you're going to have blocks.
That's
so
right.
we can actually it takes a full pallet, but we can actually do it, and then our guys can actually go and see what it's like and experience that.
Now, did your members make this, or was this kind of a one thing?
We purchased this.
Okay.
With the guy that actually built our facility.
Okay.
We bought this from him at that time.
Okay.
And they're great. We've converted this one in for wall breaches right now.
Right.
They love this the instructors love it. We did firefighter survival here, and we were able to take advantage of it, and we can actually run 2 people at one time, which is nice.
Yeah.
And we put drywall over
Yeah.
it and everything.
Yeah, this is the first prop I've seen like that. That's actually a very cool thing to do. So I'm going to encourage our company to maybe look into that. That's something that I can build. I do welding on the side.
Okay.
It's a fairly simple concept, but I never really thought about it.
No, it's different. It was one of the things he was like, hey, I also got this. And we thought about it for, nobody else has one. So
Yeah.
we're like, okay, let's give it a shot. And it's just, you know, jacks, that's all it is.
Right.
And you can use air with it or you can just hand jack it.
Yeah,
so.
right. Awesome. This is a huge tower.
Yeah, so, go ahead.
I follow you, or so you put all these Connex boxes back here.
Yeah, so we had all this installed for us.
Okay.
Back in early 2000, we had the initial building, which on the other side you'll see the tower, and then we had 3 40-foots put down on the ground as well.
Right.
And with one upstairs burn room. We've now expanded that. We actually have 4 burn rooms, including a high-rise burn room. So that tower up at the top, that window up there, that's actually a high-rise burn room.
Nice.
So we have a standpipe that runs the full length of the tower, so they can actually hit it like they were doing a high-rise. We don't have real high-rises in our district, but we do in our adjacent. So we figured it was a good thing to put in there. You know, like I said, we have the water set up to come out from the hydrants, but we have an FD connection here. We have an FD connection on the other side.
Right.
So we can do a lot.
Do you mind if I kind of take
Absolutely.
a look inside real quick? This is awesome. How do you play? It's almost like that fort when you're a kid. You're like, I just want to go play in the fort.
Yeah.
You know, and you're out here spending hours.
Yeah, so these are forcible entry doors. We have 3 exterior forcible entry doors.
Okay.
So our members can actually come in, we can set the bar in there, and they can actually pop the door like they would have to.
Right.
We can actually change the difficulty of it,
Okay.
depending on what it was, and I can make it so that people can't make it in.
Right.
And sometimes that's the most frustrating thing for a member is they want to get in there, do the forcible entry, and they're fighting with it, and they have to realize they got to move on to another door.
Right.
Things like that.
Right.
So we have that. We have second floor access. And the other thing is we don't need fire in here. We
Okay.
actually piped it with PVC and a smoke machine.
Okay.
We bought an industrial smoke machine actually out of Europe and had it shipped over to us. And it fills this entire building with
So
smoke.
for those rookies that aren't used to the fire yet, you know, you don't want to put them in a dangerous zone
Exactly.
like that. You can burn in here. It
Yeah.
looks like
Oh,
you
yeah.
have burned
Absolutely.
in there. But you've created a safer environment for smoke where they can actually get some of those evolutions without really putting themselves there.
Right, and it's things like hose advancement.
Right.
Like, we're not concerned about putting water. It's about working as a team to get through the building. You know, we can put furniture to make it very difficult. And so that allows us to smoke it out without any fire. You don't have to worry about somebody maintaining the fire or the risk of that fire getting out of control. I mean, it's contained to a room, but it's still wear and tear in the building.
Now, if I'm not part of your department, maybe I'm a surrounding department or even a police department, you know, I do a lot of tactical where I'm from. This would be a great tactical village. to
Yeah,
kind of
so
work on
we
too.
actually do allow for other departments to come in. We have all the mutual aid around us have free access to use the facility.
Free access.
Yep, we don't charge anything to have anybody come out and do training. We'll do mutual aid trainings with them, but then if they want to come out and take advantage of the facility, the only thing we do is provide somebody to maintain the building, make sure that they're not burning it too hot, you know, breaking things like that. We do enough breaking on our own.
Yeah.
We don't want somebody else to break it, plus it's a safety issue.
Right,
so
right.
we have them come out and they're covered under their insurance and everything like that. What our long-term goal is to actually get this certified to allow state courses for burns in here.
Okay.
So that way we can actually work through and actually have them out here.
You got 2 more over here? Are you
There's
adding
four,
on?
there's 4 more over here.
Okay.
We have 2 on the other side.
Okay.
So in addition to this building, we're actually going to add on 2 containers here.
Okay.
And then we're going to actually set up a new location with a new style, something that is more for just quick searches, quick attacks, some high heat, high smoke conditions, but length as well. So we just purchased those this year. That's going to be a spring project as well.
That's awesome. And I love the roof prop.
Yep,
Yeah,
and
everybody's gonna have
actually mirrors the roof prop on the up on
Okay.
top.
Okay.
So you have 2 pitches with it,
Yep.
and the nice thing is that we can start everybody down here, and then you can go up there, and it's the exact same pitch. You know, it's rotated, so it's a little bit different orientation, but you know, it gets them stable down here, and then we move them up there.
That's absolutely amazing. Awesome. So next, I think, is your apparatus bay. I think our viewers are starting to chomp at the bit, and let's go see some of your apparatus.
Yeah, one of my lieutenants will walk you through there.
Awesome. I'll follow you.
All right.
So now we're heading back out to the apparatus. Hold on. What do you got here?
So we actually have a stainless steel burnable car prop.
It looks like a little carport. That's actually very cool to have too.
Yeah, so where the plywood is today, we can actually drop garage doors into it.
Okay.
And allow them to practice actually going through a garage door and opening it up and cutting it with the saw and everything. But then the car itself, we can put hay and pallets in it. We can actually put, there's a sheet of metal by the hood so they can actually come in with a K-12 and cut it like they would, and then open it up to get to the fire. There's a solid trunk on it, so we can kind of hide fire in there a little bit, and they actually have to do it.
Looks like one of those Volkswagen things.
Yeah.
Now we're going back into the apparatus bay. This is where we came from, right?
Yeah, so on the other side, we got the other entrance down at the end is the administrative offices.
Okay.
But I actually have one of our lieutenants.
Okay.
This is Lieutenant Will.
Mike, how you doing? Nice to meet you.
Thanks for inviting us out.
Absolutely, it's
You
great
get to walk me around a little bit?
Yeah, I'm going to take you a tour of our truck bay here.
Okay. So Chief will catch up to you a little bit?
Yep, absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you. All right, so tell us what you got here in the engine bay.
So in the engine bay here, we have 3 different apparatuses. We have a mixture of offices, mechanics rooms, and hose tower room for our gear, bottles, all that fun stuff.
Okay. Right now you have your gear on the outside walls like this, but
Yes.
I hear in the plans that we saw earlier that you're in the process of doing some renovations.
Yeah, so in the next future process of renovation, we're adding some more truck bays, and then as well as we're going to be applying to the NFPA standards, we're moving all of our gear into a separate room, so that way responders are coming into the bay, they can come and grab their gear and then jump out on the pad and get on the truck and go.
Okay, and this little room is going to be an office? it looks
Yeah,
like?
so this is our captain's lieutenant's office. This is where we take care of our training paperwork, going through our EMS stuff with our newer members. So our left side here is our EMS side, and then over here is our firematic side.
Okay.
So we take care of signing people up for classes and doing stuff.
So you talked about EMS. We're at a firehouse. Are you guys EMT, firefighters?
Yep, so we're a mixture of BLS EMTs, so basic first responders, EMTs. We do not transport.
Okay.
We have outside company for that called Lancaster Volunteer Ambulance Corp. So they come and they get dispatched to every one of our EMS calls.
Okay. So we would consider that what we call QRS, Quick Response Service.
Correct.
And that's what you guys are doing.
Yep.
Awesome. Is that required for every member to become an EMT?
No, it is not required. It's basically, it's an option. The only thing requirement really wise to ride in our rigs is basic exterior, so BFO class.
Awesome.
That's it. And then also first aid and CPR.
Easy enough. All right, I'll follow you.
All right.
So do you guys do a lot of your own maintenance on your vehicles, or do you have
So-
to send them out?
Yeah, so we do have an in-house mechanic who takes care of most of our maintenance stuff. He'll do little things. His name is Brett. He works for Churchville Fire Equipment, and he does most of our training, like equipment and stuff like that.
Looks like you got a little engineer's room back here.
Yeah, so this is our mechanics room. This is
Yeah.
where we have another mechanic guy. He comes in, takes care of our saws, equipment, stuff like that. We also do a lot of in-house cleaning of our own, so taking care of restocking our vehicles with Speedy Dry, just keeping everything nice and tidy around our house.
Right. This is where I spend a lot of my time at home.
Right. Yeah.
This is
I'm
my
the same
safe
way.
space.
I've been on a long journey of repurposing all of the tools that are on the truck. So, because just repainting them up, shining them up. We'll show you later on the truck. So some of the work I've done already, but just trying to make everything look nicer and redo some of the paint. So keep everything fresh around.
I
here.
noticed you got a lot of people coming in today. Which
so-
is good. We like to see firehouses working.
Yeah, so today is we're prepping for our Christmasville parade out in Lancaster.
Okay.
So we got a bunch of different fire companies involved with that. So basically just getting the community together, decorating the trucks, getting the outreach to the kids, giving them just a little taste of, our fire trucks.
Right. Now, I think what we're going to do is we're going to stay for the night. And
Absolutely.
Because it's a night parade.
Yeah.
So we're going to actually do another video for you guys as viewers. You're going to see almost 200 trucks from what I understand.
Yeah, it's going to be around 200, 220 trucks coming all from all different departments in the area.
Right, so we're going to go do a video of that. It probably won't be as long as the station cribs or station rigs, but we definitely want to get you guys a view. So pay attention in a future or video. You're going to see a parade go on. So we've never done that before.
Oh, well, it's the first time for everything,
So what do we got over here?
So over here we have just an on-duty board. So whenever there's guys staying here We'll sign people up. They'll pick a seat on the rig. You know, so right now we just have a driver right now. We haven't set anything up because we're waiting to see who's going to be flown into the building.
Okay.
So after probably about 45 minutes or so, when we get a decent amount of people in the building, we'll sign up some seats and for our Truck 2 engine and then our squad that responds to EMS.
Nice.
So
Here you got, cascade system.
So in here we got our cascade system. This where we do most of our bottle filling. Mixture between 45-minute and 1-hour bottles that we carry. So it's
Now,
only a 3-bank system.
This is a nice big system. Do you offer this to other departments if they don't have it? Or?
Yeah, so we have some live burn training that we do in the back there, if you go and take a look. And other departments that come, we'll offer them to charge their bottles for them before they leave. And we can actually do Scott bottles and MSA bottles.
Okay. And then back here is a lot of storage.
Yeah, so back here we just have extra tool racks, our gear drying rack, more hose, extra hose when we're needed.
Right.
Most of it's for training purposes, so we don't try to rip it off all the truck, but we normally take it off the truck anyway, but this is just for mostly training.
Okay.
Just extra equipment, lights, gates, generators back here, positive pressure fan we got hanging out back here.
Right.
And then up in
you have a hose tower.
Yeah, so up in the hose tower here, we can take our wet hose and shoot it right up into the sky over there.
Yeah.
And that'll let it dry and hit the drain here.
And that's mechanical, or you got to go up and grab it? And
Nope,
bring it down?
it's mechanical. It runs all off of a remote system
Okay.
right here.
All right. That's good to have. We've seen a couple of different ways they do that. Either a hose tower, or they do the flaking up and down.
Yeah.
I've seen those guys too.
It's come in handy more than you would know it, honestly.
Right. This is a really good place to have, and when I drove up, I didn't think it was that big as far as a firehouse.
It is a little deceiving, isn't it?
When I tried to find parking, I drove on the wrong side. I saw you have a trailer outside. What do you have in the trailer?
So inside the trailer, we house 2 of these UTVs with tracks.
Okay.
One of them is a Kubota, and the other one is a Polaris. I'm not really sure on the sizes of the motors on them, but I know they're very powerful. They're literally tanks. We've tested them in the snow, in the mud, everything. You name it, we put it through the rock. So
Right.
we did, over the summer, we did a UTV, ATV training class with both of these units out in Alden, and they have a really large backyard facility that we had to go play with. And we were literally pulling out everybody else's apparatus out of the mud, and we were unstoppable. So it was really, and it was funny because the instructor actually challenged us, saying that the tracks weren't going to do well, and we proved them wrong all day long. So it was just amazing. But even in the snow, with we just had 4 or 5 feet of snow, and I actually just took this out on a test drive yesterday, and it was not unstoppable.
Yeah.
Unstoppable.
This is awesome. I'd like to just play in it one time.
Yeah. So this unit here is actually our rescue skid. So this one just has EMS rescue skid on it, and then the other one has a water tank on it. So it's got a portable hose reel on it, and then the pump, and then it's got a tank of water.
Brush fire or something.
Yeah, it's got brush fire capabilities as well.
I noticed the woods out back. I'd be taking these out back and playing with them and training with them as much as I could.
Yeah, we do try to go back there quite a bit if we can. So it's also like a mixture of private property back there. So we have permission from them as well because we have a good relationship with them. So, but we try to go back there as often as we can for training.
That's awesome. Is there any other rooms around the apparatus bay before we get into
Nope,
the
this
truck?
is actually the other side of the hose tower where we just in, and
Okay.
then now we're making our way around the front bay of the trucks here.
So now what everybody likes to know is what kind of apparatus do you have? Can you talk us through what this one is?
So this is a 2020 Chevy 2500 pickup truck. This is our deputy chief's vehicle. He's 9-1.
Okay.
Basic command vehicle. It's got all the bells and whistles in it for doing command style on at the fire ground.
Okay. And right next to it is a...
So right here we have a 2019 Pierce Aero XT chassis with a 107-foot ladder. It's got a 500-gallon tank on it, as well as a 30-gallon foam tank on it.
Nice. Now, is this considered a quint, or is it
Yep.
just
So this is a quint rig. It's got 3 cross lays on the middle. It's got 1 dead lay, 2.5 lay on the back, and it's got 1,000 feet of 5-inch LDH in the back as well.
I love the gray and red. I think we were at another station that did the gray and red.
Yeah, so this is our new paint scheme that we're testing out. We're kind of throwing the idea around about having the ladder trucks gray and red, and then keeping the engines white and red. But it's just a mixture. It's feeling it out a little bit, but it's definitely a beautiful paint scheme.
Yeah. gone a lot of places throughout the country, and at first I was like, oh, I really like the black over red.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good color. But now that I'm seeing this gray, it's becoming a new trend. It's very sharp.
Yeah.
It looks very clean.
This is definitely one of my favorite vehicles in the fleet.
What do we got here?
So this here is a 2015 Pierce Dasher CF cab. This is mostly used for, we use it for a mixture of EMS, MVAs, and maybe a couple cleanup hazmat spills if we have them.
Okay. And you got a really cool truck over here.
This is one of our newest trucks too. It's a 2019 Chevy 5500 with a Duramax diesel engine as well as Allison transmission. This basically runs our EMS calls, some pump calls. We're pumping out basements if needed. Traffic control, police, fire police.
Does it have a pump on it too, or any water?
So it actually has an enforcer system on it. It's got a 30-gallon foam tank on it.
Okay.
We can show you that in a little bit.
Yeah, explain to me what the enforcer thing is.
So the enforcer system is based off of compressed air and foam.
Okay.
So basically, it all works under pressure. It's got two 1-hour bottles inside here.
Okay.
And all we gotta do is turn on one. We can turn one bottle at a time on, or both of them, and it's got a hose reel with a small nozzle ready to go, and it just flows foam.
Right. I think I've seen something very similar to this down in Millsboro, Delaware. They had a rescue that had this kind of thing on it, and it's good for those, quick attacks. It's not going to fight a house fire, but it can do a knockdown.
Right, and we actually did test it on a drill we did a car fire drill, and it actually did majority of the knockdown. We only came in with the hose just to do some minor cleanup, and that was it.
This is awesome. And again, it's a very pretty truck. The Chevy went away from this kind of style for a while, but they brought it back.
Yeah, this is one of their recent brought back models, so it definitely it fits our fleet very well.
Right. It looks like a very manly truck.
It is pretty. It's pretty aggressive. It's especially the massive brush guard on the front of it. It really screams, get out of the way.
Right.
So
back in my days, I used to watch Home Improvement.
Yes,
with Tim
that's
Allen.
a great show. That's a great show. Tim Allen is the best.
I noticed you have a couple different tags. You have a tag here, as far as your patch, which matches here. But you also have a newer patch.
So we have three different patches, I should say. So this is our basic Townline patch that we keep on all of our gear, as well as our work duty shirts. And then we have different station logos. So this is our Station 1 logo. And then we have Station 2 logos down at the other end. Those Station 2 logos are called the Cemetery Road Reapers. So because it's on Cemetery Road, and it's right across from a cemetery. So therefore, it's Cemetery Road Reapers.
Right. That makes a lot of sense.
You'll definitely see a little bit more down at Station 2.
So the one trend that I'm noticing, and we came out here, it's in November going into December, you guys get a lot of snow. About how much snow do you get a year?
I would say we probably get close to, I think the last year, we totaled about almost 14 to 15 feet.
Okay, which is why you have the tractor out back. You also now have a plow.
Yeah, so this plow goes on our deputy chief's vehicle because that vehicle is able to push this thing around and lift it up and travel with it. So right now we just have it dropped because we're expecting snow melt, so not really need to drive around with it on right now.
Right. Now, if I wanted to volunteer here, can I learn how to plow snow too? Do you guys teach that kind of stuff?
Absolutely. We do a lot of stuff in-house. So we do everything from training people on the tractor. We can I don't see why it'd be a problem with teaching somebody how to plow snow. It's a common thing. It's basically a necessity keeping the house clean around here.
Right.
More importantly, when it's snowing, we want to make sure that the front is cleared so that way responders that are coming to those calls don't have to worry about plowing through any more snow besides what the roads are not plowed.
What I really enjoy about your company is that you are offering, volunteers a lot of life skills that they may not get anywhere else. Learning how to maintain equipment, learning how to drive bigger vehicles, learning how to plow snow, being a firefighter. Those are life skills that you can't find really anywhere else. So those younger generations that are watching and you want to kind of learn, how to do things and maintain your own house, you're going to learn that here. So come volunteer with these guys.
And it's the same thing with me. I learned from I never even touched a large apparatus with air brakes on it before until I came here. I mean, I've driven bucket trucks for the company I work for, but that's about it. But having a very long chassis to swing around in a corner is definitely a different kind of breed of driving. So it's definitely something to adapt to, but I enjoy it 100%.
Yeah. All right, I think we need to meet back up with your chief, and we're pretty much done with the station cribs. Is that correct?
I think so.
All right, let's go find him, and we'll say thank you. So let's go back to the administrative side and see if the chief's there. Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Steve, dude, this was absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for inviting us out. We really appreciate what you have here, what you're doing for the community. You know, I was just talking to Will about, you know, the skill sets that the next generation can have, like, you know, volunteering their time, you know, give them, you know, 4 or 8 hours a week or whatever it is, and, you know, they're going to get a ton out of it.
Yeah, we want to keep encouraging more people to volunteer. It's not the same as it used to be years ago, but we kind of have part of that, and we want to keep growing that and keep having more people come and join us. So really appreciate you coming out.
Yeah, you're doing the right things. You got a lot of things to offer, so we appreciate it.
Appreciate your time.
So thank you very much. Will, I appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming.
So once again, this was Heroes Next Door doing a Station Cribs with Townline Volunteer Fire Department out of Buffalo, New York. If you're ever in the area, stop by, hit them up, check out the website below. Thank you for watching, but before we end, you got to hit that subscribe, hit that notification, and hit those like buttons. It really helps us. And thank you to our sponsors. We'll see you again next week.